Hey, it's Aaron from GameWithThurs.com. In this video, I'm going to be doing a demo playthrough interview with John de Campos from Terrible Games on his game Token Terrors Battlegrounds. So sit back, relax, listen to my silly questions, and enjoy.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, thank you for noticing our nifty little backdrop here. Yeah, that's not really set up for any reason other than it looks cooler than what they provide.
No one else, I can't think of, I've done a lot of these last couple of weeks. I don't think anybody had anything that was like this customized to their game.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually I was able to find a guy who does TTS scripting and setups on Reddit,
hmm
and he was affordable and pretty good at what he does. So this is what we got.
Apparently.
This is Yeah. Welcome to the TTS version of Token Terrors Battlegrounds. So, if you would like, I am very well rehearsed at giving a quick overview before we get started. If you think you're ready to dive in because you've already read the rules, we can go ahead and do that too.
I I'm gonna take the overview. I did open up the PDF and go through it, but
Okay.
I didn't have everything sitting in front of me. So I,
Okay. Cool. That's no problem. Well, let's go ahead. So I'll just explain a couple things about what's going on here in TTS as far as what you're looking at. So all the miniatures that you see on your side of the table over here, these are all of the factions that we're offering in the upcoming Kickstarter campaign. So all these guys are from Season 1, which is titled Primeval. Um, the Swamplands are actually a bonus faction that we're doing as a 48-hour flash gift. And what a flash gift means is that if we fund in the first 48, everybody who backs the game on Kickstarter will get 6 of the Swamplands for free. And
oh,
then after the campaign, if you didn't back the campaign, you can still purchase them and add them to your pledge for $8. So
okay,
they're not a Kickstarter exclusive, but you get them for free if you back during the campaign. Um, so we're going to be playing with these guys today, so that you can actually try out what's going to be coming up on Kickstarter soon. But to let you know what all this other stuff is, over here are some token tyrants and titans. This is 2 of 6 that we have in development for a Season 1 expansion. And over here are the very experimental, very not complete Season 2 factions they're in this mod because I wanted to be able to play test with my team remotely while we're on COVID lockdown. And I didn't want to have to set up like a bunch of different mods. And I thought it'd be cool for people who wanted to dive into the game to test out stuff that's currently in development. Um, so yeah, okay, so you understand all the functionality stuff. Make sure your rotation degrees are set to 90 degrees, please.
it is.
Cool. All right, so let's jump into some basics. All right, so if you'll zoom to screen on our rulebook over here, you'll see that the first thing that we address in the rule booklet is that there is activation and facing states that'll alter the way that your token faces. And what that means is, let's take this goblin, for example, if you look at the board really quick. So a token facing forward, meaning it's facing away from its controller, is fresh. A fresh token can evade range attacks, can be selected to be the activated token on your turn, and they can do everything, right? If a token's fresh, they can basically do all the things. The other way that they can be faced is backwards, and that's towards you. That's in the resting state, and resting is something that you do when you're done activating a token. It's not one of your actions or commands. It's just something that's optional. And when you do it, you can press E to rotate it backwards to face the controller. That means the token is resting. It cannot complete evasions. If it's not refreshed at the top of your turn, it can't be activated during your turn. But it still does the threat bonus mechanism, which we'll touch on in a little bit, and it can still be the target of token talents, and it still retaliates when it's attacked. Um,
It also earns what are those points?
Yep. Yeah. When you rest. Yeah. Exactly. When you rest a token, you earn a surge point, which you just track them on the surge
Surge
side
point.
here.
Got it.
And surge points can be spent to issue additional commands when you're done using the 3 starting commands that you have at the beginning of each turn. So yeah, each turn you'll have 3 starting commands, and then based on how many surge points you have at your disposal, you can spend them to issue additional commands on your turn. The other way they can be facing is 90 degrees to the right. That means they are in the ready state. And what this indicates is that the token has a persistent effect that lasts beyond the end of your turn. Most things will wash at the end of a turn, but if it has ready this token at the beginning of like a token talent ability, or if you say enrage a token without attacking during your turn, you can leave them in this ready state to just tell your opponent, this token right here is doing stuff that is still happening during your turn.
Okay.
Then we'll go ahead and bounce over to what you're going to do on your turn, just so you have a frame of reference for the stuff, all the stuff that follows after that. So this information is more of a more detailed look. On these reference cards in front of you, it has the same information, just a little bit more concise. So how this works is, so you're going to go through 5 different steps on each turn. A number of them are conditional and or optional, and only one of them is mandatory. So the first one is refresh. So if any of your troops are resting or readied, aka not fresh, you may refresh any number of them, making them fresh. The only time you wouldn't refresh something is if you have it in the ready state and it's doing a persistent effect that you want to have keep going. So, for example, the zombies have this ability called Undead, where I ready the zombie, turn it 90 degrees to the right, and when it's in this state, if you kill it, all you do, instead of it going to my cemetery, it becomes rested instead. So I would earn a surge point, and then you'd have to deal damage to it a second time to take it off the board. If I hit the beginning of my turn and hit my refresh step and just want to leave him like that, I can totally do that. Anytime something is resting, though, 99.9% of the time, there's absolutely no reason to leave him that way. You're going to want to refresh him. Step 2, activate. This is the only mandatory step of your turn. So you're going to choose one fresh token and activate it 3 times. You have to use all 3 of your starting commands. And the commands you can issue during your turn are move, which you can do as much as you want. You can enrage once per turn. I kind of touched on that a moment ago. When you enrage, you increase its threat by 1, and again, we'll touch on threat in just a minute. You can battle as many times as you want, or you can use one of your faction's token talents. Now, each faction has 2, and you can do each of them once per turn. You can't do the same one twice in the same turn.
Okay, it's a per faction thing. Okay.
Yeah, and the faction cards are actually below the minis down here. They're going to auto-feed onto the table when we do setup in just a minute. But you can zoom to screen and take a look at those a little bit if you want to just peruse them while I'm talking through these basics here. Step 3 of your turn is you are going to spend, ? So this is optional. If you want to hold on to your surge points, do it. You can bank them until you hit the maximum of 6. But if you see an opening for you to be able to swoop in and get an attack off, you can spend these surge points to do additional commands at a cost of 1 surge point per command. After that, you will hit step 4, which is rest, ? Again, so resting is not a command. It's just something that once you've completed the 3 mandatory starting commands or spent some surge points after that, once you're just finished doing stuff, if you want to rest your token, you can do that. That'll earn you a surge point, but again, you forfeit the ability to evade. That's basically all you lose by resting, is you just can't evade range attacks. They still retaliate when attacked if the attacker is within the retaliation range. They can still be the target of token talents that do stuff involving like group movement. And yeah, so you just forfeit the ability to evade. And again, if you forget to refresh them, technically speaking, you're not able to activate them during your turn. And then step 5 is another conditional step where if you have 4 or fewer tokens on the battleground, you can reinforce until you have 5, putting them onto any unoccupied edge space. So we're going to start the game on either side of this battleground, but when you hit your reinforcement, you can reinforce on any edge space, and it's really helpful, actually.
Just a question about step 4.
Yeah.
The only way you can earn a surge point is by resting, correct? Or do you start off by default with 1 whenever you are refreshed?
Great question. So, yes, you start the game with 1 surge. There are 2 ways to earn surge points, actually. So one way is to rest, and if you look at the board here, I'll just boom. So let's just say on my turn, I want to fight this zombie. So I go move for my first command. Then I'll enrage this goblin to raise his threat by 1, so turning him into a 2. Then I'll battle command this zombie. Whoops, he's undead, so he just becomes rested and earns a surge point for my opponent. Then I decide, well, I can't do any more stuff, so I'll just move up here and then rest. So that's 1 surge point, right? The other way I can earn surge points if I go, okay, this zombie's undead, so killing him is kind of a waste of my time. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to do this. Move, move, move. That's called a dash. If you move into a new space each time and you do 3 move commands in a row, you immediately earn a surge point after you do that. So there's 2.
The trade-off being normally you'd be moving into a threat or into danger. So
right, and that actually works both ways too. Because so like I use it defensively and offensively. So let's just say I feel like it's important for me to start banking some surge points because I want to get a big turn off in a couple turns, right? So I can just go, okay, I'll dash over here and rest this guy to earn 2 surge. Cool, my turn's over. Or let's say I'm like right here at the top of my turn and I want to take this guy out, or we'll do here for this example. I want to take this guy out. I can go move, 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 earn a surge point, and then all melee factions can do something called a blindside where they attack into diagonal spaces. I could spend both of these surge to do a diagonal melee attack and kill this dude. Because you earn them in instant speed. So as soon as you complete a dash, you get that extra surge point. So yeah, actually speaking of which, we're just going to go over the basics of commands. So again, if you want to zoom the screen, cool. I'll tell you like when stuff is happening. These first 2 are pretty straightforward. So when you move, you can move into any orthogonally aligned space that's up, down, left, right at a cost of 1 command. You can move through friendlies. You cannot move through enemies, and you can't end your movement in a space that's occupied by another token. Enrage is one of your commands. You can do Enrage once per turn, and the way this works is you basically raise the threat of a token. Now you might be asking, what is threat? If you take a look at this diagram here in the rule booklet in the top right corner, you see the one with all the numbers on it? Yes. Cool. So yeah, the way that threat works is threat is both your health or your attack and your defense score. Anytime a token has another token of the same faction next to it orthogonally aligned, you raise the threat of that token by 1. So you'll see there's 3 green L's at the top. The one at the corner of that L shape is a 3 because he has 2 other guys next to him. So every token starts with a threat of 1, and then for each adjacent friendly token of the same faction, they get a +1 to their threat. So you sort of have to play around with formations and stuff. But again, to just reinforce, and actually we just had our guy make the modification change. If you hover over these guys, it'll tell you what their threat is in real time. Oh. Right? So they're all 1s right now because they don't have any adjacent homies. If you move this guy up, now they've all adjusted, right? So this guy, now there's 2 2s and a 3. You with me so far?
I'm with you.
Cool. All right. So yeah. So when you enrage, you temporarily raise the threat of that token by 1 until it either completes a battle command during your turn, and if you don't complete a battle command, you can ready that token at the end of your turn to indicate that it's still enraged. And that'll stay that way until you refresh it, it gets destroyed, or it does battle, aka retaliates against something that attacks it. And then after this, we should be good to go. We're just going to review how battling works. So there are 2 attack styles in Token Terrors Battlegrounds. There is melee and ranged. In Season 1, there is a mixture of 3 and 3. So soldiers, goblins, and zombies are all melee. Elves, flying machines, and wyverns are all ranged. And the swamp ones are melee, but they have an ability that gives them some attack versatility. So the way that melee guys work is, if you'll take a peek at the page one more time. So when you spend 1 command to battle, you'll battle into an adjacent enemy, or an enemy in an adjacent space. So that's orthogonal footprint. And you'll just compare your threat, and if you have a greater threat than your opponent, you'll kill them. If their threats are the same, they'll kill each other. Everything retaliates simultaneously, or they attack each other simultaneously if they're within each other's range. If you want to upgrade that melee battle command, you can spend 2 commands to blindside, and what that does is let you attack diagonally aligned spaces, and since nothing passively retaliates diagonally, you'll deal damage without taking any return damage. It's very handy.
Nice.
Yeah. Then the way range guys work is they can't can't attack diagonally, period. However, they do attack from 2 spaces away for the cost of 1 command. If the defending token is fresh, they can roll to evade. So a roll of 4, 5, or 6 will give you an evasion, and the defending token must be moved 1 to 3 spaces. Alternately, you can spend 2 commands to do a sure shot range attack, and that makes it so the defending token has to roll a 6 to evade instead of a 4, 5, 6. So you just knock down the likelihood that they're going to evade by a pretty sizable margin.
What are you spending to do the sure shot?
Commands.
What? Oh, okay. You're giving up Oh, it's 1. I thought to move 2 spaces, to attack within 2 spaces was 2 by default.
It is, right. So the reach rather of a token that attacks at range doesn't change. So like right now, like an elf is a range type, he can deal damage to either one of these guys at a cost of 1 command. But let's actually, if this guy was an enemy, he'd be facing the other way. So we'll do like that, okay? So let's say I control the goblins, you control the elf. If you were here, you could spend 1 command and attack this elf and deal your 1 threat at him, but I get to roll an evasion, right? So I roll to evade, and I get it. So I go 1, 2, 3 over here for whatever reason. You still have some, so you start every turn with 3 starting commands. So let's say you started in that space and your first command was to battle that first goblin. So I made the evasion, okay. Let's say this time you don't want me to be able to evade as easily, so you're going to spend your last 2 starting commands to do a sure shot range attack. I have to roll a 6 to evade. I fail, this guy gets killed. Because I rolled a 5, which is still, pretty high, but not enough. But yeah, they always happen in a straight line. Range attacks can't be obstructed by anything, and you can't fire through stuff, basically.
Be it other enemies or your own team. Okay.
Right. Do you have any questions?
I will, but
Yeah, I've gotten the feedback pretty consistently that like it is quite a bit of information to wrap your head around at first. A couple turns will sort of clear things up for us, and yeah, we can just get into the setup portion. But yeah, the win condition is you want to kill all my guys before I kill all your guys, and just do your turns as efficiently as possible. I'll also add before we get started that a really good team up of factions would be 1 range and 1 melee, and I would recommend probably using like the wyverns and the goblins, or the elves and the soldiers, or the soldiers and the wyverns, or the elves and the goblins, or any combination of those 4 to start, because their token talents are fairly straightforward. They're a little bit more user-friendly.
the wyverns, do they have any ranged attacks?
Oh yeah, so yeah, if you look at the card, so wyverns. So the first thing you'll say is you'll see the reserves window at the top. Just a quick anatomy on the token talent cards. So that window of artwork up there, that's where your reserve forces are going to live before they enter the battlefield. And then it says that the name of the faction is wyverns. Then it says that they're a ranged faction, and then it gives you their 2 token talents. So at a cost of 1 command, you can do the token talent Take Flight, which will let you move that wyvern exactly 3 spaces. The other one is called Rush, which just states, the next time that this wyvern does battle, it has a range of up to 3.
It's good for planning purposes.
Yeah.
Is it wyvern or wyvern? I guess I
always say wyvern.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh. Everybody says it different ways. I've always said wyvern.
I think I'll choose them.
Okay, so I'm happy to concede that just to give you the full experience, the setup, the competition actually starts during setup. So we're each going to roll our evasion die and see who gets the higher roll. And I'm happy to let you go first, but I just want to give you a full picture of what the game actually looks like. So I got a whopping 1. All right, you narrowly beat me. So you're going to take first pick. So we're going to start our drafting process. So you can choose as few as 1 or as many as 6 of any one faction. Once you select that faction, I cannot take that faction.
So, question.
Yes.
I could have 12 then. 6 of one, 6 of the other. Like, why would I choose less than less than 6, or is it 6 total across both?
No, it's so your army is going to be 10 token terrors. The maximum amount you can select is 6. There's no limit.
Uh,
There's no limit to the number of factions you can have in your army's build.
okay.
So, like, if you just want to eliminate wyverns and just sprinkle in 3 of them to start, you can select 3 and then pass the draft to me. And then, like, let's say your next pick is going to be the goblins, and you take 5 of those. So you'd still have 2 left, and you could like grab up 2 zombies if you wanted to, or you could fill out the rest of your draft with more wyverns. So there's some versatility in how you draft, but we're just going to keep alternating our picks until we each have an army of 10.
It sounded like you were saying I could choose a third faction, so I could choose 5 wyverns, 4 goblins, and then fill out the rest with a zombie.
Yeah, you could do that if you want. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, theoretically, like if you wanted to, you could take 2 zombies, 2 soldiers, 2 goblins, and 4 elves if you wanted to.
oh,
But you're only going to select one army that you draft first.
oh.
So your first draft pick is going to be wyverns, I assume.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose 4 of those.
Okay, cool. So you're just going to take those 4 and drop them into your cemetery bag right here.
Once the bag opens, come on, bag.
There we go.
All right. All right. So 4 wyverns in a bag.
All right. Just so I don't have to put them away, I'm going to go ahead and take the goblins, and I'm going to take 4 of those to start.
Okay. So that means I cannot take goblins then.
You cannot take goblins, but like on my let's say, so go ahead and make your next pick. Cool. Do you play Magic?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. Why? Why do you ask?
I was gonna make a Magic reference.
Oh, I'm sorry I ruined it for you.
You didn't ruin it. It's good.
Oh man.
So yeah, those 4 soldiers are going to the cemetery bag as well.
I'm not sure why I didn't just group them up and do this at once, but here we are.
Okay, so yeah, so then it'll pass to me, and I'm gonna go ahead and take 6 flying machines. Now, I'll warn you, like, fly free, do whatever you feel. When you splash a third faction into a build like this,
Mm-hmm.
you do run the risk of creating a bit more of a challenge because of the way the threat system works. Because you'll have the soldiers and the wyverns, you'll have to pivot sort of your thinking about how their asymmetrical abilities work, and then also you're just watering down the overall threat level of the 2 factions that you have a majority of. But again, I'm not here.
And by threat level, you mean like when they're all adjacent to each other?
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
boost each other.
Yeah. Right, because those 2 zombies aren't going to be, even if you get them both out on the board at the same time, the highest threat they'll be able to get if you enrage one of them will be 3. Versus, if you had like 3 or 4 zombies out at once, they'd be able to give each other some pretty big numbers.
So I guess I just go half and half then.
Yeah, I just worry about like you having like a weird experience for your first game because we tried to do some stuff that's a little bit more on the challenging side.
Gotcha. All right, I picked the 5th wyvern. So.
Okay. You need 1 more soldier, I think.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that completes the setup. We're almost done with setup actually. So now we're going to randomize our starting ranks and get our. So all these guys on the side of the table here, these are going to be our starting ranks. The guys on the cards, these are draw piles just like the other ones, but they'll turn red when they run out. And since you are the first player, you get to place first. Holy heck, my starting lineup makes no sense. That's crazy.
You flying machines and goblins. I don't know what flying machines do. Add a flying machine from your reserve to any space around. Okay, swarm. Move this and all friendly flying machines one space each. Ah, okay.
So interesting thing here is I have one flying machine left in my reserves. So like one of my token talent abilities is going to disappear almost immediately. Because
Yeah, you did say it was scripted to be random because this is not This is yep. You have a lot of wow. So the ones that are on top of the cards,
yeah,
the reserves, those are included in the 10 or
yeah. So
no?
the cemetery bags are empty. During setup in real life, you throw them in the cemetery bag. We give them a little shake, and then dump out the first 5 at random.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's 2. Okay, they had. Okay, now I'm saying
Yeah.
held the cursor over them. Okay, there's 3. I have 3 soldiers too. Okay, gotcha.
So now we're just going to alternate placing them in the first 2 rows of our side of the battleground, and you're going to place one, and then I'm going to place one, and we're just going to go back and forth until we have all 5 of our starting ranks out. Okay.
Yeah, with you having 5, you can really get a pretty good boost on for most of them.
Yeah, I feel a little bit. I
Yeah.
feel a little bad actually because the way that these guys play is their tempo is controlled by the fact that doing their build token talent costs 3 commands. So you basically burn your entire turn to bring an extra guy out so that you can build a brick of them to just swarm around the board and deal damage at range. But the randomized rollout of our starting ranks did that for me already.
Okay. There we go. This is really good scripting.
Oh, thanks. I didn't do it. I paid a guy, but I'm happy with it also.
You were involved.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
fine.
Yeah.
It would have happened without you.
Yeah. Okay, so as the second player, since you've done everything else first, I actually get to go first, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way. I'm going to activate this flying machine back here, and also just take this as an example on, like, etiquette for your turn, I guess, where, like, you're just going to declare which one is active.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I skip my refresh step because everybody's fresh. Then I hit my activation step, and I'm going to activate this guy, and I'm going to complete the token talent build, spending all 3 of my starting commands and just pop out another flying machine in any surrounding space. Then I'm going to rest this flying machine to earn a surge point, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. I am going to. I don't know what I'm going to do actually.
I'm gonna just remain silent. If you would like any coaching or tips of any kind, just say the word and I'll pop in and give you some ideas.
Maybe for this first turn, that would be beneficial.
Okay, cool. So
By maybe, I mean definitely.
let me swing around to your side of the table real quick and pretend I'm playing your guys. So yeah, you got a big problem in front of you right here. So all these guys, if you just hover over them, you'll see that these guys in the middle are both 4, so they're kind of untouchable. And they have two 3s on either side. So dealing damage to these guys is going to be tricky. I would say probably the soldiers, I think, if I was you, I would use them as a surge point engine for a good chunk of the game until I'm able to mobilize these guys. The one thing about the flying machines is they move really slowly. Now, obviously, I can just use 3 move commands and just pop one out and deal some damage, but, you know, I sacrificed the defensive formation I have here. So I think that your wyverns, since they can deal damage at range 3, that's probably the best way to go. And if I was you, I would activate this wyvern on the edge, and then issue the token talent Take Flight, which lets it move 3 spaces and just go boom, boom, boom for 1 command. Then you would issue the token talent Rush, which lets you attack at range 3, so you'll be able to deal damage this far away. And because this is a range faction, the Flying Machine's a range faction, so they would normally deal damage back, but you're just out of my range because my range ends right here. So then the next time you battle, you'll do only 2 damage, which is enough to kill him. So you're going to have to use your 3rd starting command to Enrage first, so that'll kick him up to a 3. And then you would spend your Soul Surge point to dish 3 damage at this Flying Machine and see if I evade. Now, that's one way you can do it. The other way is you can just activate a soldier and bank some surge points.
I'm just playing for the next turn.
Yeah, exactly. You can just be like, okay, I'm going to activate this soldier right here, and go. You still have to use all 3 of your starting commands.
Oh, so I still have to move.
Yeah.
But then I'd okay, so I can move this from here, and then rest them.
So
Or is that just 2 commands?
Yeah, that's only 1 command. So you could do you can go like move, and then Enrage counts as a command. So you could burn the Enrage command here to give him a +1 threat, and then since you've used all 3 of your starting commands, you could then rest him after that to bank 2 surge points. So yeah, those are the 2 things that I would do if I was in your position.
Why would I earn 2?
Or no, not 2. Yeah, you would only earn 1. Sorry, that's my mistake.
Oh, no worries. But you said, okay, moving is one thing. Then I have to Enrage, which would, how do I do that? I mean, how do I?
So you just, every faction, every token in the game can Enrage. And Enrage, aside from raising threat for the next time you attack, or raising threat to leave a guy defensively stronger during your opponent's turn, which you would indicate by turning 90 degrees to the right. You can also use it to keep formation, which is really useful. So in this particular case, it's doing that exact thing. So you need to burn 3 commands before you can pass your turn, right? So you did a move. So how are you supposed to stay in this spot and not break formation? Well, you issue an Enrage command. So now this guy is a 3, but you want to earn that surge point. So now that your turn is over, you've used all 3 of your starting commands. You can just go ahead and rest them anyway. So the Enrage washes, no more threat bonus, but you can earn that surge point. Alternately, if surge points are your main concern, you can also just do this. Dash to here and rest and earn 2 surge points like that.
Oh, because I went 3 spaces?
Yeah.
Or?
So 1, 2, 3 move commands constitutes a dash. That's a surge. And then you can rest them at the end of your turn and earn a second surge.
I'll go with the second surge. So 3. Oh, there we go. All right.
Cool. So then you would just note that on by pressing the plus button there. All right. So 3 surge commands. Cool. All right. So you skip your reinforcement step because you're fully stocked. I'm going to hit my refresh step and refresh this guy. And then, boy, oh boy. So I'm going to, I'm going to go move, and then issue the token talent Swarm to move all flying machines I control 1 space each. Whoa, dudes. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second.
It was so uniform and cool. It's like everybody just... Right.
There we go. Okay.
How did you do that?
You can just press the back button. The problem is that once you do that, now the threat bonus, or the real-time threat number is now gone for some reason. And
So I just bumped my surge up to 3 because it was that's where it was before.
Let me see if this works this time.
I believe in you.
Thank you. I'm bummed that the scripting modification goes away for the threat levels because now there's this cloud of red text hovering above the board. Yeah, that's a drag. Okay, so yeah, so I did move, swarm, and I should add 2 surge points. And then I'm going to spend 1 to Enrage, and a second one to battle your wyvern.
Okay.
So your wyvern is fresh, so you get to roll the evasion die to see if you can evade this attack.
What do I need to evade?
Oh, don't roll it near the cemetery bag. It'll fall right in there.
Oh,
You need to roll a 4, 5, or 6 to make a successful evasion.
come on, big money.
Whoops.
That's the opposite of big money.
Sorry, yeah. So yeah, this guy's dead and goes into the cemetery bag.
Grand opening, grand closing.
I'm all out of surge points, and I've spent all 3 of my commands, so I can't do anything. And I want to be able to evade if you try to attack me, so I'm going to leave this flying machine fresh. I am over 5 tokens on the board, so my turn is over.
So I will need to go up to 5 at the end of this turn.
Yes.
Or...
Yep. So you'll hit your reinforcement step as your last step. And the only reason I have 6 as opposed to 5 is because of the token talent build ability. It lets me bring out 1 over the limit. Not even 1. Like,
Gotcha.
I mean, you can't have more than 6 in one faction, so it would only exceed 5 by 1 ever. But yeah, that's the only reason I have 6 out instead of only 5.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna go 1, 2. And can I attack your flying machine?
You can go 1, 2, and then you can use your 3rd starting command to issue Rush, which lets you attack at range 3. Then you would need to Enrage to have enough threat to deal 2 damage at him because your guy is just a 1 by himself because he has no adjacent wyverns. Then you need to spend your 3rd one to do a battle command. So yeah, you could 0 out if you wanted to do that. Where'd you start? Right here?
Yeah. That seems like a lot to do.
I agree.
Not a lot of damage. I'm giving up all of my surge points.
I agree with that.
Yeah, let me rethink this then.
Sure.
What if I were to go up 1 and then do the blindside attack on you?
Only melee factions can do a blindside.
Oh, like the soldier.
The soldier is a blindsiding machine. Those guys are great.
Unfortunately, they're way over here. Boy.
So, I mean, you know, I think that it takes a little bit of time before you start to, for any player, to sort of understand some of the priorities that you might be looking at in a game. So, like, one thing with the soldiers is they're really powerful in groups of 3. So you're going to reinforce a 3rd guy. You're going to reinforce a 5th guy, and it can absolutely be a soldier. Then you'll have 3 soldiers to play around with.
Yeah, I thought about maybe moving up 2 and then doing a blindside, but then I don't know if that's worth it or not.
Well,
because of the benefit of having a 3rd come out and then having the synergy if we all...
Yeah, and the other thing
together.
to keep in mind is that this guy is a 3.
Oh, so, yeah. I'm not sure what my options really are.
Do you mind if I would hate for it to mess up. Yeah, do you mind if I reload the autosave on this so we can see if the threat bonus comes back?
Sure, go for it.
See if it works. Oh, yeah, it didn't change anything. All right, go ahead. Left this guy right here, though. There we go. So you're still at the top of your turn.
Okay. Sorry I didn't load. All right, this guy is still resting, but he's out of range for now. Would it be crazy to do 1, 2, move him back here? Rage, rest, earn 2 more, and then bring out a 3rd that I can put right here, so at least we're all together for a subsequent turn.
Sure. You would only earn 1 surge point from doing that because you only earned it from resting. And I think this guy's supposed to be fresh because you forgot to refresh him during your refresh step.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's totally cool. Yeah, and then you hit your reinforcement step and drop that dude right here. Okay. Cool. So it passes to me. I am going to activate this guy on the corner again and issue the Token Talent Swarm. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And then I'll enrage my active flying machine and then battle your wyvern.
All right, so who rolls first?
I don't roll anything. You roll to evade. If you hit a 4, 5, or 6, you can move that guy 1 to 3 spaces anywhere you want.
Oh boy, 4, 5, or 6. Let's see. You failed me again.
Sorry, man. I swear. I know that's fucked.
What is the deal here? Like what?
I know you got a 50-50 shot and it's not adding up. I'm sorry.
No, it happens.
Yeah.
This is how you learn.
I don't know if there's a lesson there.
Lose gracefully.
Yeah, sure.
So this guy's dead because he's a 3, right?
Well, he's actually a 2, but I enraged him before I attacked, so you dealt damage back to me that time because I'm within your defensive range. So you dealt me 2 back, but because I enraged him before I attacked you, I boosted him up to a 3 because he's only got 1 flying machine adjacent to him, so he's just a 2. So if I had just done a regular attack and you failed that evasion, they would just kill each other. But because I enraged him first, I was able to survive the attack. So you dealt me 2 back. I was a 3, so I absorbed it, and then I dealt 2 at you and took your guy off the board.
Good night. We hardly knew you. Okay, is it my turn again?
Yes. But before you do that, I am going to rest this guy and earn a surge. Then my turn is done.
Okay. I'm very tempted to just take this wyvern and come up behind this flying machine and just destroy it if at all possible.
So it is because you have quite a few surge points. However, unless you're ready to commit suicide with that guy, you're going to have to get him into position to do rush first.
Even if I move closer?
So since these guys are range 2, they'll passively retaliate 2 spaces away. So if you land right here, if you land here and do an attack, the most amount of threat you'll be able to get that single wyvern up to is 2 by enraging him, which means that we'll just trade damage and they'll kill each other. So if you can get your wyvern here first, then you can issue rush to attack from 3 spaces away. So you'd have to go move, activate rush, enrage, then battle. And I can't evade it, so you know it's a definite kill.
Okay, so if I move here,
that's 2.
I'm going to rage.
That's 3.
Yeah, but then I take one of my surge points away because I'm using rush.
Yep, and then you need to spend 1 more to issue a battle command.
So now I'm down to 2, but at least this flying machine is dead. And I have accomplished something.
You've accomplished a very important thing because the main way to make the flying machine's strategic strength in playing them, the reason that we made them the way that we did is because they have huge group movement, but they don't cover a lot of ground in 1 turn quickly. So they're sort of this big cloud of dudes, and you're just burning a lot of your early game to get them out early so you can create this brick of defensive strength. Now, my starting rollout was just very advantageous towards this strategy. But basically the idea about these guys is, like, if you see this start to happen, you just have to start handling them. Like, you have to figure out a way to chip away at them, because once I'm down to, like, 2, they become very not useful, mostly due to the fact that one of their token talents is gone. Mm-hmm. And being able to move 2 guys 1 space each turn for Swarm, like, yeah, they're only powerful if I have a lot of them out. So you can figure out a way to just chip away at them, then you can make them pretty useless.
All right, so at this point, I have to deploy back up to 5, right?
Yep.
But just stop at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I guess
Oh,
that is my turn.
and this guy would be fresh also.
Yes.
Okay. I have not hit any reinforcements because I'm still at my limit, but I lost a guy this turn. So what am I going to do? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just dash over to here and then rest to earn 2 surge and pass turn.
I only have 2 myself. Uh,
I would just I would make the recommendation to just review the abilities of your soldiers.
hint, hint.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
only because they can cover a ton of ground in the 3-man squad. You're going to be able to optimize march and phalanx. Both of the idea behind soldiers is that you want to have 3 of them out, and that's when they can start to kick some butt. And you already
so if
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if I use March to move up 2,
Which one is the active soldier?
the one on the far left,
This guy.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's only a 2 because he's only next to 1 soldier, and I just used a surge point in using March to begin with. So I'm down to 1 if I did that, right?
No. So this guy was your active dude. He completed 2 move commands, and then you issued march to move these 2 spaces up. So
okay.
right now, if you wanted to do more stuff, you would have to start dipping into your surge points.
Well, wouldn't I have used 1 or 2 to move them up?
No,
I started with 2 on this turn.
you start every turn with 3 commands.
Okay, maybe I'm confused. I thought if I'm using talents, using a talent costs a surge. Does it not?
No. The token talents are you can issue those at a cost of 1 command, and you start every turn with 3 commands. And if you want to issue additional commands, you can do that by spending a surge at a cost of 1 surge per command.
Okay. So I move 2, and then move them, and then March applies to both of them.
Yeah.
Up to 2 others. So it's 1 movement for up to 2. Okay. So now I've no commands left because I moved 2, which is 2, then did March, which is 3.
Yep. And that. So yeah. So exactly. You spent your 3 starting commands, and now if you want to do additional things, you can spend surge points to do that.
So if I wanted to attack this flying machine here in front of me, I don't even know if I can because I'm melee, right?
Yes, you are melee. So you need to.
I'd have to like move up 1 more using 1 surge point and then attack with an additional surge point if I wanted to attack.
Yeah, and even then, even though this guy's resting, he still retaliates when attacked. And since you'd have to be in an adjacent space, I would just deal 2 damage back to you and you'd get killed.
What if I? Oh yeah, I can't move diagonally, can I? So can I? Can I move here and then do a blindside attack?
No, because each movement. So that would be 2 surge points in this case, but 2 commands to move here and then here. I mostly just wanted to draw your attention to the soldiers because a great way to get the flying machines off the board is to get after them with melee because I can't evade their attacks. So now that they're relatively in reach, maybe even if you had like 1 or 2 more surge points, you'd be able to get a pretty big turn out of this. But
if I had like 3 or 4, yeah. So now I'm wondering. Oh, sorry. I'm wondering if this was the best thing to do because I'm out of range, right? Where was I? Here or here?
Yeah, right.
I was here, I believe.
No,
I think I was there.
No, they were all in the back row. Because remember, you moved up 2 and then marched twice, or did march, so they all landed here. So you're just out of range. So yeah, you started there.
Now I'm wondering if the best thing to do is just move, rage, and rest. So maybe instead of moving, maybe I move him 1, 2.
1, 2, 3. So that's a
rage,
well,
and then rest.
Oh, so moving from there to here, that's actually a dash. That earns you a surge by itself.
Oh, so I get 2 then.
Yeah, and then you don't have to issue in the Enrage command because you're not trying to burn up commands in any way. You've already used all 3 starting commands to dash. And then, and then you can rest right there, so that'll earn you 2 surge.
Cool. All right, that is my turn.
Cool. Okay. I am going to activate this flying machine and dash to here to earn a surge and get to 5. Then I'm going to issue the token talent Swarm, lowering my surge by 1 to move them all up 1 space each. Blap. Then I'll spend another 1 to Enrage, and then I'll spend another 1 to issue a Sure Shot. My next range attack will be a Sure Shot attack, and then I'll issue a battle command. So I'll go down to 1 surge, but you have to roll a 6 to evade this range attack.
It's just going up like by 1 point incrementally. So
Yeah.
I guess if I'm still alive in 3 turns or 3 attacks, I might successfully evade. Well, a Sure Shot. I guess if I get 4 next time you attack, yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know what we're trying to do with these mechanics also, just to give you kind of a bird's eye view, is, you know, I think with any game, you sort of set up some limitations and rules that are hard, that are, you know, concrete, and then when you're dealing with asymmetrical design for stuff, you figure out ways to sort of like break those rules so you can create cool dynamics, right? So one thing that I'm like really excited about is some of the expanded factions. So like the clerics that we're going to do in a couple seasons are going to have an ability that's passive, where it's just like, if you don't like the outcome of a die roll, re-roll it. It's called prayer. So like,
Oh, well, you know what? Prayer works. So
yeah.
Hey, there you go.
But yeah, that evasion, until there's no clerics out right now, so that wyvern is dead, sadly.
Oh, goodbye. We hardly knew ye.
That is. I'll rest this guy because I'm running low. Now I'm done.
All right. I remember last time doing a attack on your most front-facing flying machine was not the best thing, but it's always tempting, only because, well, he can't retaliate if he's resting, right?
No, he still retaliates. He can retaliate. He can be the target of a token talent.
Because of I would have to be in 2 spaces to attack. So if I was, so let's say I used rush, then and I was 3 spaces away, he cannot attack then, right? He would not retaliate then.
Right, because you'd be out of my defensive range. That's correct. So to have that work, you would need to be here. To attack him, yeah, you need to be in this exact space, because you can't do it from here, and you can't do it from here. You can't do it from here.
Okay, so I'm going to move the soldier 2 spaces.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that really does. I'm still trying to figure this out. Use march to move them 2 spaces.
Uh-huh.
So that's 2 moves left, correct?
So you've moved twice?
No, that's 3. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. I moved twice, moved them once. So that's 3. That's total. I could burn a surge point to move them here, and then I can do a blindside attack, right? Because I'm attacking at an angle.
Absolutely. So you would go down to 1 surge, but yes, this flying machine would be totally dead.
So why does the blindside cost 2 surge?
Because you're attacking a diagonally aligned space, which gives you basically, the economy of that is that you're not using that point to move into an adjacent space. You're also making it so that you deal your threat without having to raise it. So it's effectively like a move and an enraged command packaged into 2 battle commands.
Oh.
And you also don't take return damage, which is the biggest part.
Excellent. So now I'm down to 0, which that's fine.
No, you're down to 1.
And I need 2.
You still have 1 left.
Oh, that's not 0?
That's 0. There you go.
Ah, okay. And I'm going to pull out another soldier.
Woof. Okay, cool. I like that a lot. That's cool, man.
Well, if I can get them situated. There we go. All right, that's my turn.
You got one wyvern left. 2 surge. All right. I'm gonna activate this flying machine, and then just spend 2 of my 3 starting commands to just do a sure shot battle command right there at your soldier.
So I have to roll a 6, right?
Yep.
Oh boy, let's see. It really is going up by 1.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh man. Let's switch side. No, I'm kidding.
Yep. So sorry, the soldier's dead. And then yep, I'll use my 3rd command to swarm. And then I'm going to rest this guy. Whoops. To earn a surge and pass turn.
Okay. I'm going to move this wyvern 1. And I'm going to use... Oh, it's a planning thing. So it doesn't do any good right now. So I guess I'll move this wyvern 2. But you're going to retaliate, though, so it doesn't make any difference.
Yep. There's no way for you to do anything to those guys with the liver.
No, there's not.
The only way you could even remotely do it is if you, just as a thought exercise, I'm just going to walk through this real quick. You'd have to move him here for 1. Then you'd have to issue rush for 2. Then you could enrage, and then you'd spend a surge to do 2 damage, which wouldn't kill him. So you would need at least 3 surge points to get this guy off the board, because you'd have to do all that stuff and then use 1 to move here and then battle him again to deal that 3rd point of damage, in which case they would kill each other. But that would be like a maybe 3. That'd be a 6 command turn to get that guy off the board. That's
a lot.
Yep.
What if I did something goofy like move back to the same space on purpose, like went 1, 2? No, it doesn't make any difference. I basically just want to get this soldier here. So if I got the soldier there, that's two moves.
Yep.
Rush, and then.
You mean enrage?
I'm sorry, enrage, which would be a 3rd. Well, 1, 2. Yeah, that'd be a 3rd. But then if I attack, if I do a blindside, I'm down to no surge points. Correct?
Move. So move, enrage. You're out.
Enrage.
You're there. Yeah, you're 1 short to even complete a blindside, and that still wouldn't be enough damage to kill this guy.
So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, which is silly, and then just if I move 3, then do I earn an additional surge point?
In that specific case, you don't, because you did not enter a unique space each time.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm sorry. So. If your goal is to accomplish that though, before you end your turn, I would just recommend that you just leave him here, because this is actually a greater challenge for me to hit. And then if you want to leave him rested to bank 2 surge points, you can do it. Keeping in mind you still got 1 more wyvern left to put out also. So if you just want to get this guy out of harm's way and just get him out of there, take flight is great because you get to move 3 spaces for 1 command, and then you can move 2 more and just get him over here.
So I could do take flight 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Take flight 1, 2, 3.
But you can only issue each token talent once per turn.
Oh.
So yeah, he would land here, and then you could use your last 2 starting commands to move him 2 spaces over and get him over there.
I can go through other players?
You can go through your own guys.
Oh, cool. I thought I'd go around them. Okay, and then
Yeah. That's a great defensive turn right there.
So, but he's not rested though, right?
You can rest him if you want. Bump to 3 surge.
I don't know if that was worth it or not, but here we are. All right, that's my turn.
I mean, I think it's pretty good because these flying machines have been drilling those guys. Did I leave? Oh, yeah, so let me refresh this dude. Uh, I'm going to activate this flying machine and go 1, 2, 3 to complete a dash and earn 1. Then I'll spend 1 to swarm. How dare you? Hold on a sec. Oh my gosh. I'm like all mixed up on where these guys were. 1 second, please. There we go. Reset your surge points, please. That's so...
I had 3, I believe.
Yeah.
No, I had 4,000. And that's an infinite number of surge points.
That's so
if memory
weird.
serves.
I'm gonna ask the guy. Some mistakes are coming up. I'm gonna ask him why when you rewind that it doesn't. We can also look at the player log too. Look at that.
At the risk of sounding snarky, isn't rewind sort of an all or nothing kind of thing? Or you rewind everything?
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of working as designed.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. But it wouldn't. Why wouldn't it rewind these to the proper values? Because these are custom scripted in, and they're not built into like the overarching engine that governs this entire world.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's why. Like, I don't know why these would lower when you rewind because they were at the previous value. But I think it has something to do with custom scripting. So yeah, I'm gonna just do it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna complete my swarm by moving them each 1 space each.
Doing it old school.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then I started with 4, so that took me down to 3. And then I'll spend 1 to battle your soldier.
And is that a sure shot or a regular?
That's just a regular range attack.
Oh, come on.
I really do feel bad. I'm not.
Why wouldn't it go to 5?
That was the plan.
Come on, die. Let's keep that same energy.
You know what? This dude's
man.
probably dead, so I'm just going to rest him to earn that surge point and pass the turn. Oh, I get to reinforce. Goblin.
So is he dead or not dead?
Your soldier's dead. This guy...
No, I mean your flying machine.
Oh, my flying machine. No, so you didn't deal any return damage back. The reason I said he's probably dead is because on turn 1 you can activate this soldier and just be like blindside, boom, he's out of there.
Gotcha.
So I see the immediate risk, so it doesn't make sense for me to leave him fresh because 1, he's not going to have to evade range, and 2, he's going to die right away probably. So just go ahead and rest him and earn the surge point.
I gotcha. So is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Can I just do a blindside from right here since he's resting?
Yeah, dude. Actually, if he wasn't resting, you'd still be able to complete a blindside. So you spend 2 commands and blindside this flying machine, he's dead. You have 1 command left before you can pass turn.
1 command left.
I'd like to kindly recommend Phalanx because it's really cool.
I like cool things. Ready the soldier while ready this way. The next time the soldier battles or retaliates, it gets +1 threat for each surround. Yeah, I could use it. And then if I add a 3rd, then they would get the same bonus, right?
Booyaka shot.
Yeah. Yes, I'll spend my last on Phalanx.
And yeah, the other thing that's really good about that is it will help you hold position just like Enrage would, but it does so much more after.
So if I'm readying them, is that turn to the right or just looking regular?
Yep.
That's fresh. It's regular.
Yep, he'll be turned to the right. Sorry, I shouldn't interfere. You should turn him to the right. There we go. Cool. So now, I know...
Oh, and then I have to pull out my last soldier.
Yeah.
All right.
He does enter on an edge space, though.
Ah. All right.
Andy comes out fresh. Boop, boop. So yeah, so the keyword surrounding means every space that is touching the space that token is in. So that's all of these. So he's already at 2, and then he's getting +2 for 2 surrounding soldiers. So he's a 5.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty good. Actually very threatening. So I'm going to activate this flying machine and go move, battle.
Okay, so this is not a sure shot, so I'm hoping on a 4 and higher, right?
Yep.
I'm not even, yeah,
Oh,
expectations are real low.
Wait.
And,
No,
of course, it's
no,
a
hold
2.
on. We're going to re-roll that because I want to show you something, okay?
Okay.
So if you're hovering over it, right, and you press R, and you just keep pressing R before it touches the table, you can give it like a really hearty roll and land a 4, like that.
Let's keep that 4. Nah, okay, I'll take your advice.
Ah, I don't know what's going on, man.
That's the greatest increment increase I've had.
Yeah,
Can't
you
be any
jumped by 2
worse.
whole values.
Oh man, that's terrible. Uh, all right, yeah, I can't reinforce because I don't have. Yeah,
And
I
then,
mean, once it's my turn, I can't.
so I did move, battle. I'm going to spend a surge point to swarm over here. And then I'll rest this guy to get that surge point back.
Okay.
And then I reinforce again. Goblin.
All right, I'm gonna wake this soldier up. I'm gonna move 1, blindside for 2, so that's all 3 of my moves, right?
Move. You need to enrage first. So you go move, enrage, blindside. That'd be 4 commands to get that off. But yes. Okay. Yep. Done deal.
And well, it doesn't make any sense to rest. I need to evade potentially, so that's my turn.
Well, yeah. If you want to end right there, totally cool. I would say 2 things to think about is you could use a command to move back so that he's defensively safer, or you could issue march and just scoot that guy behind you over 1 space to boost his threat.
Here we go.
All right. My flying machines are getting kind of messed up dealing with these melee guys, which is kind of, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to earn a surge. Then I'm going to spend that surge to issue swarm. And then I'm going to rest this guy to get it back. And then I reinforce again. Pass turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go 1, 2. And then I'm within 2, so I can attack your goblin, correct?
Yes, and you can do this. You can do this a number of different ways. You can enrage him first to be able to deal 2 damage, and provided I fail the evasion roll, then you'll land, and that's it. You killed my goblin. You can go real risky style and just issue 2 1 damage dealing ranged battle commands and hope that I fail both evasions. Or you can. I don't think you have enough commands to do a sure shot. So yeah, there's a couple of different ways you can attack it, but that's ultimately up to you. And I won't deal return damage back no matter what you do because I'm a melee type.
All right. I was here, so I think I already did. I do this already? I forgot what I did. Okay, yeah, I was orange at surge 2. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then do the 2 range.
You can get to that. You can get a wyvern in that space for less commands.
Oh, what? Take flight?
Yeah, with this guy in the back. 1, 2, 3.
That's true.
That's one command, and you get exactly in the same position.
So that's 1 move.
Yep.
And then I'll use the last 2 to attack you from 2 spaces away.
Okay, so an enraged, right?
Oh.
Whoops. Yeah, so yeah, take flight, enrage, battle. I got it.
Yeah. I keep thinking the battle requires 2 actions.
You also have the surge points if you wanted to make that a sure shot attack, but
I wonder if it's... what are they at, a 2?
this guy's a 2, yeah.
I'm attacking for 2 though, correct?
Yeah, but I can roll an evasion for it. If I roll a 4, 5, or 6, I'm out of there.
Yeah, let's go for the short shot. I'll eat another one.
All right. No way. Yeah. I rolled a 6.
Of course you did.
Man, this happens every damn time. And you have 1 surge point left. I'm gonna go move to here. That's my evasion finished. If you want to spend your last surge point or not, up to you.
I'm not gonna spend it to attack, right?
Could.
Why not? I mean, it doesn't...
I love it. I love it.
You're gonna roll a 4, 5, or 6 anyway.
No, I roll a 1. We kill each other though.
Hey, look at that. Oh yeah, I'm within a retaliation range.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I kind of did that on purpose to see what you would do. But yeah, okay. So that's the end of my turn, and then I reinforce.
Okay.
So I'm down to my. So it's 5 against 3 right now.
All right. It is your turn, right?
No, I just finished my turn.
So when you came close to me for the evade, that was your turn,
Oh,
or that was a reaction
you're
to?
right. It is your turn. It is my turn, and sorry, I got confused. That's my fault. So yeah, it is my turn. I have 4 surge. Let me wake this guy up first. And I'll go 1, 2, 3. Rest. Max at 6, and then reinforce. That's my turn. Thank you.
I'll be here all week.
Try the fish.
There you go. Yeah, I'm in a tough spot here. Is this flying machine resting?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna go 1, 2. Oh yeah, but a blindside costs 2, so I can't even afford to do that. Yeah, I don't have many options.
There's always an option to retreat and get those surge points up.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. So
Hey, can
go.
I ask a question?
Sure.
Since you only have the 1 wyvern out, like, why compromise the defensive strength of these 2 guys next to each other and just activate him to generate those surge points?
Good point. 1, 2. Enrage for a 3rd, and rest.
Oh, yeah, and also, if you're just looking to get surge points, you started here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, remember?
Oh, it's 2.
Yeah, remember you earn one for doing a dash, so you don't have to enrage at the end of your turn to eat up commands. Because if you were here, just go 1, 2, 3, earn a dash to get a surge, and then you'd rest at the end of your turn to bank 2 before the end of your turn's over.
2 for the win.
Yep.
But not likely. But just the 2.
Yeah.
2 for competing, I guess.
You had 0 going into this turn?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then this guy would be rested. Cool. Okay. I'm going to wake this guy up. Then I'm just going to dash this goblin. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Because I'm already maxed at 6. Yeah, I'll go 1-1. And then for my third command, I'll issue Swarm. Then I will Enrage Sure Shot Battle.
All right. 7 or bust. It's possible.
Hey!
And finally, a
it.
6.
So that's
it's about time.
Yeah, that soldier must be moved 1 to 3 spaces.
And just this soldier.
Just him, yeah. That's a cool idea, though.
2, 3. You said 1, 2, 3, right?
Yep.
Oh, so I can just move 2. So I still keep them linked.
Mm-hmm.
Is that was your whole turn?
That's your evasion concluding. I can still do more things, which I am going to do. No, I'm not. I'm gonna rest right there and pass turn. Earn a surge. Boop. You gave me a cool idea though for a mech. I don't know what it'll be called, but
So 2, 1, move. Enrage.
what?
Then do march.
Okay.
Then do march.
Can I ask, like, and not to meddle. If I'm being too meddlesome in your side of the game, just be like,
No, that's cool. That's fine.
I'm curious why you did the enrage command there.
Just to eat up another move.
But you needed to do march anyway, right?
Yes.
So you did move. That's 2, and then march would be 3.
I thought I only moved over 1. No, I was right here.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, cool. All right. Waking up.
But I have done that many times, so I
Yeah,
understand why.
that's why
I understand why you said that.
Um,
Like he's doing it again. It's step, pause, pivot, step, step. Not step, pause, pivot, step, pause.
What's that from?
Oh, The Simpsons.
Oh, yes, thank you.
The choreographer.
Yes, yep. When Lisa does the beauty pageant.
Yes,
Yep.
Little Miss Springfield.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite episode?
Oh, that's tough. It's a tough question.
Lisa on Ice is the best episode there is.
Lisa, that's one where she plays hockey?
Yes.
That's one where Homer says, he said, all right, boy, you won your game. Here's your turtle.
Alive and well. Yeah. Ketchup, I'm eating salad here.
Oh, I don't know what I don't know. I kind of feel like.
Can I have my teeth back? It's got so many quotable lines. That episode has so many amazing moments.
It really does. Like I thought the teacher strike one is one of the best ones.
I saw Miss Kabbalah. Yeah, when Ralph was talking about hear them have sex in the closet.
What else? When Homer becomes head of the union.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a really good one.
Yeah, Homer Gets a Gun is great. Lemon Tree is great. Just my personal favorite. It's actually kind of a toss-up between Cape Fear and Lisa on Ice. Those are probably my 2 favorites, with Lemon of Troy probably being a close third.
You said Lemon Tree. It's funny. I herald the first 10, maybe 12 seasons is like, that's The Simpsons to me. I kept watching until like maybe 15 or 16. And it was my favorite show in high school. Like when I was in high school, I loved that show.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what it is? It came on and I wasn't all that interested. when it started, when it launched. But I think I was a freshman in high school, and I saw the episode where was it uh where Bart joins Junior Campers,
Uh-huh.
and that I laughed so hard at that episode. I just fell in love with the show and started watching it like crazily.
Yeah.
And I never thought there'd be a day I'd be like, I don't care. And then, many, many years ago, I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. So I haven't seen the show in a long time.
I stopped watching after season 13.
You said season 3?
13.
Oh, I don't blame you. And the people tell me, oh, it's gotten better. I'm like, eh. Like I started rewatching on Disney Plus, and I got up to like season 6.
Yeah.
I might make it, but if I don't, that's okay.
I mean, seasons 6 through 9 are absolute magic. Every single episode in that span of the show is, to me, the thesis of what The Simpsons is and why it's great.
Yeah, they were on fire. I mean,
Yeah.
it was incredible. But you know what it is? I think what